Georgia had an excellent showing against Marshall. And look, I know that Georgia should always have an excellent showing against Marshall, but I liked what I saw out of Gunnar Stockton. I think that the offensive line and rushing attack, specifically from a running back offensive line downfield blocking angle, is better. I loved what I saw out of the defense, their speed, the fact that Marshall's quarterbacks I thought were pretty impressive in the pocket, maneuvering it and being aware of their surroundings, knowing when Georgia defenders were crashing down. And Georgia just seemingly got home more times than not on the film. So that was progress, I think, from where Georgia was last year. I have said in the preseason, I think Georgia this year, simply by regressing to the mean of their talent and coaching, is going to be a superior team compared to where they were last year. But I still want and I think need to see some things. 5 things we're going to talk about yet again from them against Austin Peay. I need to see Gunnar Stockton have another good game. I want to see fewer TFLs and better downfield running, and also to see more chemistry built between Stockton and his receivers, and to see Puglisi again, and for him to yet again excel in his role as the backup quarterback at Georgia currently. And of course, the shutout was not earned by Georgia, but you'd rather get your second and third stringers valuable reps than making sure that someone doesn't score really a useless and meaningless touchdown at the end of the game. But of course, a shutout would always be welcome. Before I give you these 5 reasons in a more specific granular matter, I ask you, especially if you are a Georgia fan, to like the video, to hype the video. It's a feature on YouTube I just recognized today, actually. You can hype someone's video and it helps get them in the algorithm. All you have to do is just click this button that is displayed, I think, on a phone. It'll pop up where the comment section is. Just do that. It's very simple, helps the channel out a lot. Like the video, watch it all the way through, subscribe to the show, hit the notification bell for the show, and also the notification bell for the Georgia football podcast that I have. It's a playlist, so that way, whenever I talk about Georgia, you can get notified when content about the Dogs is released. Thank you very much, and let's talk about these 5 things that I want to see out of Georgia. So, we already talked about Stockton succeeding. He right now is the number 1 QBR in the country. I think it was a 99.1 QBR. He had over 300 yards of total offense. I think he had 2 or 3 touchdowns to his name. It is important that he continues to ball out for a variety of reasons. Mostly being that there are, understandably so, questions about him, although I'd say every quarterback right now has questions. I mean, people thought that Arch Manning would be the number 1 quarterback in week 1, which I was higher on him than what I saw on Saturday against Ohio State, but I still thought the whole, he's automatically number 1 is just insane. That was insane. Everyone has questions right now. And that's why it's important for Stockton to continue to ball out, because he has questions, but all other quarterbacks have questions. If he can continue to gain confidence, get a connection with Zachariah Branch, Lawson Lucky, Oscar Delp, with Dylan Bell, Colby Young, Noah Thomas, really get chemistry and a feel for the offense, Georgia having, 2023 Carson Beck and 2021 and 2022 Stetson Bennett level quarterback play would mean a whole lot for their SEC championship and national championship goals. Number 2, Georgia needs to succeed in power rushing. I liked what I saw out of Stockton, but Stockton was leading Georgia in many rushing categories for a reason. I think that offensive line and running back room and rushing attack still has some kinks to iron out. Hopefully they can iron it out in a game against Austin Peay. Because Tennessee, I will tell you right here, and we'll actually do a preview and prediction for that game next week. We'll pay special attention to that game. I think Georgia's going to name the score there. But it's not going to be nearly as easy as Marshall or Austin Peay. I could be overestimating Georgia there. To have power rushing success and be able to do that against a Tennessee defense would be critical for a victory in Neyland. And of course, for a victory against Alabama, for a victory against Auburn, Georgia Tech, whoever they play in the SEC championship, and for the playoffs too. Getting in the backups early, rotating early, and continuing to dominate with your backups as Georgia did against Marshall. That's French kiss elite stuff right there. Would love to see that out of Georgia. Puglisi looking good too. He performed at a more than serviceable level against Marshall, led the offense to have success. He also had a QBR in the high 90s in that 45-7 Georgia football victory over Marshall. Getting him valuable reps is critical here. Stockton was 14 of 24 for 2 touchdowns and 190 yards. Puglisi, actually, correction, he had a QBR in the 80s. Still ridiculously good, especially for a backup, but not in the 90s. I was thinking of USC's backup quarterback, Kusan Longstreet. That was another QB duo that really impressed in week 1. Puglisi was 5 of 8 for 59 yards and a touchdown. On the ground, he had 2 carries for 13 yards. Maybe getting him some more reps than that, ideally, as Marshall should be a tougher opponent than Austin Peay, would be ideal. And last but not least, how about the receivers dominate some more? Get Dylan Bell and Zachariah Branch and Colby Young. I'm not saying call certain plays or reveal your playbook. I'm not a coach, never will be. I don't know as much as all coaches in the FBS level, probably all in the FCS level, or just in general. No. All I'm mentioning is I'd love to see the receivers dominate just because, by their own volition, not because the staff is trying to pump their numbers or anything like that, but control the game through the air effortlessly, as they should. They outmatch Austin Peay's defensive backs and defense in an unfathomable way in terms of talent. And I know Georgia's well coached. I know that Georgia has a great strength and conditioning program. I know that Georgia develops at a ratio of probably 100 to 1 or even greater compared to the FCS opponent they will play Saturday. The line hasn't even been released yet, and that tells you all you need to know about this game. Georgia's going to win. Georgia's going to dominate. So therefore, you want to see within that dominance backup players and positions that used to be weaknesses for the Bulldogs be turned into strengths. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you all very soon and have a reaction for this video up as soon as I can. Or for the game, not for the video.